Let me make sure I have everybody here. Okay. Hello, everyone. Welcome to Ask the Nanny, baby Q&A. Hello, three girls and a legend. How are you? Thanks for joining me. Hello, everyone joining me on Facebook, on YouTube, on Facebook, YouTube, TikTok, and Instagram. How is everyone doing today? I just wanted to pop in for a little while and share with you all some things. Okay, now let me go back to my comments. Okay, so while you are coming on, please share this video with someone who you know that possibly will need it. Hello, the postpartum doula, PP doula. How are you? Thank you for joining me. Hi, Candy. Thank you for joining me. Hello, Sierra. Thank you for joining me. Hello, Pandora. Thank you for joining me. Okay, so share this video with someone that you think can use it, because a lot of moms, especially new moms, don't know what allergic reaction looks like. Or they think, oh, well, they're just, that's just normal. Share this video with someone that you think that needs it, or with a new mom. Even if they've been a mom for a while, share this video, because each child is different. Each child has their own sets of allergies and react differently to different things. So share this video. If you're over here on TikTok, can you tap the screen 2 times for me? Show me some likes. Give me some likes. And hold on. There we go. Tap the screen, double tap the screen for me, so we can bring some more people in. If you're over here, hello, Shanique. I think I'm saying your name right. Hi, Miss Nisi. Hi, Nerd McFly. I think that's how you say that. Okay. So hello. We're gonna get started, so we can have time to answer questions. I work with babies, and most of the time I'm working with babies. The most allergic reactions that I see in my babies is with food. If you haven't seen the video that I put out on yesterday about allergic reactions, please take the time to watch it. I couldn't put all the allergic reactions in one video, but I wanted you all to be aware of what it somewhat looks like if baby breaks out in hives, or if you're feeding the baby and it starts to get pink, and then it starts to get pinker, and then it starts to get red, or maybe their lips start turning blue. That's an allergic reaction to food. If your baby starts gagging or wheezing, or starts breathing funny, or looking at you and their eyes start, glazing over, or watery eyes, or teary eyes, sneezing, all of these are allergic reactions, but I'm going to break them down for you. You're allergic to shellfish. See? And if you are allergic to shellfish, most allergies, my allergist told me that most allergies are passed down to our children. So if you are allergic to something, then it's more times than not, your child could be allergic to it. So be careful with that food, or be careful with whatever the case may be. My middle son, oh my gosh, the wind can blow wrong, and he's sneezing, eyes puffed up, nose running. When I tell you eyes puff up, I mean like swollen, closed. I can't tell you the number of times that I have been called from his school when he was in school. Miss Johnson, we need you to come pick up TJ. We think he has the pink eye. Now, how many times have I been up here this month alone in the springtime, and you telling me he got pink eye 3 times a week? And I keep telling you, he doesn't have pink eye. He has allergies. But according to the school policy, That's what they have to do. So it's in some IV dyes. Ooh, my daughter used to be allergic to cinnamon, but now years later she's fine. Yes, some babies, because of the sensitivity of their digestive system, they are allergic to it at that in that early digestive system of the early years, and then they grow out of it. Now, if you're like me, the older I get, the more stuff I'm allergic to. I'm like, is my body just breaking down and I just can't take nothing? I'm allergic to so many different medicines. Um, Codeine makes me hallucinate. Morphine makes me feel like ants are crawling all over my body. Percocet, can't take it. Vicodin, I'm low to pay. There's a list of about 10 to 12 different medicines that are common medicines that I cannot take. Mushrooms. How many dishes do mushrooms have? I can't eat them. It's a fungus. I'm allergic to mold, any kind of mold. So we're going to break these allergens down. So if you see some of these things in your child that's happening, then you need to pay attention. I did the food. I did the food allergy reaction because when children start on foods, a lot of parents, oh, well, they can just eat what we eat. And you start feeding them what you're eating. But there are certain peppers, there are certain spices that babies shouldn't have. And they would can be allergic to them. There's different types of cinnamon. You said your daughter was allergic to cinnamon. There are different types of cinnamon. And some of those cinnamons are not really cinnamon, it's something else, but they call it cinnamon because it tastes like cinnamon. But there are some you have to do your research, and I mean dig deep, because of the FDA. You only have to list, the products on the back of the labels that are in order of the consistency. In the order of what comes first. Like if it's mostly sugar, if it's 3 cups of sugar in this recipe, and everything else is like 2 cups, 1 cup, 1/4 cup, then the sugar comes first because that's the most that it has in there. But read those ingredients because there may be something in there that maybe, I mean, just the slightest little bit of mushroom, I'm done. So I ask when I go to restaurants, does this have mushrooms in it? And even if they say no, I look at my food. Look at it. Because they may say no, and someone in the kitchen didn't get the memo and they add mushrooms. Oh, that'll taste good in that. Let me just go on and add that in there. I check all of my food before I eat it. And you should check all of your child's food. Check all the ingredients. If you are allergic to milk products, if you are allergic to dairy, check the products that are in the baby's food. A lot of my breastfeeding moms have to do an elimination diet. That's why I said last week, get you a journal so that you can put down what you are eating. Because if you are breastfeeding, it is going to your baby. A lot of my moms have to cut out dairy while they're breastfeeding because their babies are sensitive to dairy. The milk, the cheese, the yogurt, all of that good stuff that comes directly from milk, they have to cut it out because it affects their babies, their digestive tract. It may give them gas. It may make them throw up. It may give them, that the what is it called, GERDs. So be very diligent about your child, and when they grow out of it, sure, give it to them. Let them have it. But while their digestive systems are so young and so new to foods, be careful. If your baby, I had a baby who had was allergic to eggs. He was 11 months old, and mom walks out and she says, "Okay, I'm off to work. He's having eggs this morning. It's the first time he's had them." I'm like, seriously? You gonna walk out the door and this is the first time he's having these eggs? And eggs can be a big allergy. He started getting red around his mouth. And he's feeding himself. He's taking the eggs and he's just enjoying them and he's having a good time just eating. And then all of a sudden, I'm like, what is that on your mouth? So I wipe his mouth and the redness is not coming on. Then he picks up something and he drops it, and I see the palm of his hand. The palm of his hand is red. Now, technically, that is contact dermatitis because it didn't go inside of his body on his hand, but when he puts his hand to his mouth and is feeding himself, I know that he's having an allergic reaction because all of a sudden, all around his mouth is red. The palm of his hand, the hand that he was feeding himself with, is red. And I'm like, okay, no. So I stopped feeding him immediately. The egg that he had in his mouth, I scooped that out of his mouth. I washed his hands. I washed his face. I called his mom and said, we're heading to the emergency room because your child just had an allergic reaction to the eggs. And the hospital was like 2 blocks away. We lived on they lived on a one-way street. So the ambulance would have had to come, go up one way, come around 2 blocks, and then come back. By the time they got to the house, I would have been at the hospital. So I just threw him off in the stroller and we went to the hospital. And sure enough, he was having an allergic reaction to eggs. And while we're sitting there, they give him this Benadryl and another shot. And if you are a nanny, let me say this right here in the middle of the story. If you are a nanny and you working with our child care provider and you are working with kids, and whether they come into your house or you going to their house, if you are a nanny, get you a medical affidavit or some kind of signed notarized statement saying that you can take the child to the hospital and give permission for minor care until the parents arrive. Now, I've had the minor one and I've had the major one because I've worked with military who were 400 some odd miles away from where I was because I had a home daycare. They're 400 some odd miles away. I have to uh, be able to have full rights to give that child medical at whatever whatever the doctors say within reason that I can do with the children. And I'm trying to contact the parents, then I need to be able to have the right to save that child's life. If I have no papers that says, yes, I can do whatever to this, have the doctors to do whatever is necessary to save this child's life, then that something happens to that child and, well, why didn't you do something? Why didn't you tell them? Because I have no rights. You never gave me the rights. So if you are a nanny in childcare or you work with children, I work with somebody, your cousin, your whatever, if you babysit your cousin, your grandchild, get an affidavit, get a notarized statement, get a temporary, um, it's a temporary legal guardian form, but it's for medical. Um, and you get the power of attorney. That's what I'm trying to say. Get the power of attorney to give that child medical treatment until parents can be contacted or they are there to sign whatever for that child, because you never know what's going to happen. You never know if that child's going to have allergic reaction. You all have some order pizza and the child doesn't know, 3 years old, oh, I'm allergic to pepperoni. But nobody told you the child was allergic to pepperoni. Or the child may be allergic to nuts, but nobody told you. Nuts can be an anaphylactic. It can make your throat swell up and close up. My middle child was allergic to his school, literally. We were living in the DC area, and the schools there have basements. He's allergic to the mold. There was mold growing in the basement, and it took his body 2 weeks to trying to fight it off. It took 2 weeks until he just broke down and he started wheezing and he couldn't breathe. And that's why I say, when you feed your child a new food, stick with that one food. If they've had a lot of other foods before then, you can still feed them the other foods, but that one food, stick with it for at least 4 days before you try to move on to something else, because it takes time. Sometimes the body is strong enough to fight it out for a while, and then it just breaks down and says, my antibodies cannot handle this anymore. Get it out of my body. And that rash or whatever that reaction is telling you there's something in here that needs to get out. There's something in me that you need to rectify. Come on, help me. That's why the reaction. Now, there are different types of reaction. The severe reactions um, is the throat swelling. Like I said, the anaphylactic is the throat swelling, the difficulty breathing. You hear wheezing. If your child's going, they're having a reaction to something. Either they're choking on something or they are have an allergic reaction to something. They may be lightheaded, they may get dizzy and kind of pass out and stumbling all over the place. They may get confused if their skin is turning pale white, or their lips are turning blue, or even their toes, the extremities are turning blue. There's something going on to let you know I'm having an allergic reaction. So be mindful of the food that you're feeding your child, some of the activities and the contact. If you're walking through the park, sorry, I got an Amber Alert coming through on my phones. Okay, sorry about that, Amber Alert. But just be mindful of this. Uh, if all this stuff is going on, stop what you're doing, medical attention immediately. Uh, Mold allergies are sometimes not as bad. It just depends on your body. It depends on what you can handle. Sometimes the mold allergies are the coughing, the itchy, watery eyes, the hives, and hives may look different on you than they do on me. I break out in hives and I get what it looks like little whelps. My son breaks out in hives and it looks like he has like little stacks of jelly all over his body, because it's like it comes up in a little circular thing, but then it kind of looks like it out of jiggle, like jello or a jelly. You know how you put a glop of jelly on a piece of toast and you shake it and it kind of jiggles? Well, that's what the hives look like on him, because I didn't know what it was. And the doctor said, "Oh, those are hives." I said, That's not a hive. The hives are whoops." He said, "It looks different on different people. So know that in what your child's normal skin looks like, and notice things. Uh, Sometimes rashes break out. You may not see it uh, on their face, and you may not see it on their torso, but look in the crease of their thighs. Look behind their knees, at the elbows, under the armpits. That's where chicken pox starts. In those warm places where your arms are down or your knees are bent, or your and ladies, if you have big breasts, look up under your breasts, because a rash can start there because your breasts lay on top of the skin. Um, but that's where those warm allergies start. They may come in different places where it's nice and warm and moist. So look for that. Animals. Mm. I was caring for a child. I was doing a nanny share, and there was a little boy across the street, same one that had the allergic reaction to the eggs. He came over across the street to where I was working, and I was caring for both babies. Well, one was a 2 year old, and he was 11 months old. So they had a dog, a little Dotson, cute little dog. The dog, they were on the floor. The dog's walking, rolling by, and he's used to kissing the 2 year old, because the uh the dog belonged to the 2 year old, and he was used to licking all over the baby's face. So he went and looked on the 11-month old's baby's face, and They're crawling around, they're having fun. 5 minutes later, the baby crawls over there to me and looks up at me. He's got a red splotch here, a red splotch here, a red splotch here. And the dog comes by and licks him on his hand, and immediately he gets a red splotch on his hand. I said, ah, this little boy is allergic to the dog. So here we go again. I called both parents. We're on our way to get some medical attention because um, Benadryl, um, you have to know the baby's weight, and you have to know there's several things that you have to know before you give your baby Benadryl. And I don't want to overdose anybody's baby, so I'd rather go to the hospital, go to the doctor, or wherever, get the right dose. So somebody else will be responsible for giving this child the right dose instead of me. I'm doing what I know to do to get this child help. So he was allergic to the dog. So even just a lick on the face, and it may not have been the dog, it could have been the food that the dog ate. Or, when dogs go outside, they're sniffing and licking and touching everything, and their bodies are touching everything. So it could have been something that the dog uh, contracted outside. It could have been in his food, but it was whatever it was on his tongue, and he licked the baby, and the baby had an allergic reaction to it. So that we ended up having different schedules from then on with those babies. But animals, usually the fur. If you have a dog that sheds, those hairs fly in the air, and they make in the dandruff makes you sneeze, or you may have red eyes, or it may cause puffiness in your eyes or swelling. So those are some of the things, and sometimes it gets so bad that it can cause, especially with asthmatic children, it can cause wheezing, and they'll probably need their albuterol treatment or their inhaler. So be careful around animals. And if you're getting ready to, if you are allergic to an animal or dog or cat or whatever, make sure that you are uh, cautious about your baby being allergic, being around dogs and cats. Make sure you find out what breed of dog that you're allergic to. So if you get a dog, you're not allergic to it, and more than likely your baby won't be allergic to it. And I hate to say this, but I have had a couple of parents who had dogs, and they had to give their dogs away because their baby was allergic to the dog, and it hurt them because that's their dog. That was their first baby. And now the real baby, the that was their fur baby. Now the human baby comes along, and the baby is reacting to the dog and is allergic to the dog, and they had to give their dog away. And I felt so sorry for them, but I was like, what can you do? Is the fur baby or the real baby? So, and it's a hard position to be in, especially because a lot of people become attached to their dogs like that. This is my baby. So, um, yeah, it can be a hard situation. Now, seasonal allergies, the environmental allergies like the pollen and cedar and mold and ragweed, all of those, fresh cut grass. My son is allergic to fresh cut grass. I don't care what kind of grass it is. If lawnmower is going and the wind is blowing, he's going to be sneezing and wheezing and eyes, you know, running eyes. So be aware of what you're allergic to, and make sure that your child, be aware, and watch them when they come in contact with some of the things that you are allergic to. Um, Latex. I don't know many babies that are allergic to latex, but I know some adults that are allergic to latex. And the rashes that they have on their hands. One of um my sister's friends, came in contact with some latex, and she had blisters all over her hands from the latex. That's how allergic she was to it. So um, be careful with latex gloves. I like to use gloves when I'm changing the babies, and I ask the parents not to buy latex gloves because we don't know if the baby's going to be allergic to latex gloves. So I ask them specifically, or I will bring my own gloves and they reimburse me for the gloves. But I specifically do not get latex gloves because of the allergy effect. Um, Contact dermatitis. I think we talked about that. Um, where the dog licked the baby's face. It was contact. Where the new food touched everywhere the food touched around the baby's mouth and in the baby's palm. Contact. Poison ivy. Contact. Poison oak. Contact. And there's a lot of other things out there that you brush up against and you get bumps and you're like, what in the world did I get into? And you end up breaking out in little bumps or whatever. Contact. Chicken pox. Contact. Hand, foot, mouth disease. Contact. All of these are contact dermatitis because somebody had it and they were playing with your child, and they weren't quite healed from it, and your child was not immune to it. And guess what? Or they went to the preschool and somebody went home sick. And because that somebody went home sick, they didn't clean the toys that day. And the next morning, little Johnny comes in and little Johnny picks up the toy that the sick child was playing with. And little Johnny goes and he sticks the toy in his mouth. Contact. And or he is playing with it and his hands break out in a rash, or he gets the chicken pox or the measles or the whatever because of the contact. So be careful with the toys. I'm washing toys all day long because they have the family that I work with, they have a dog, and the even though the baby's not allergic to the dog, but I don't know where the dog being because the dog goes for a walk. Dog, is outside, goes walking outside in the backyard, whatever. I'm constantly washing toys. If they hit the floor, they get washed immediately. So, why gloves when changing baby? Um, it's a sanitary thing. And sometimes, especially when the babies get their 6-month-old shots, they get the oh, what is that shot? Um, they give it to them or drop in their mouth. Oh, I can't think of the name of the shot. But anyway, it's for the digestion. And um, if you come in contact with any of the babies, the saliva or the poop or the urine, that it can get because of contact again, it can um, make you sick and make you have diarrhea and make you throw up. And I can't remember the name of that booster, that's the uh, that vaccine. Rotavirus, that's what it is, the rotavirus. Yes, when they get the rotavirus, and they do get, I think they get it, uh, they get one and then it's like 30 days later they get another one. I think that's how it works. But anyway, she had to get it twice. And the first time she came home and she threw up all over mama. And next thing we know, mama had diarrhea because she threw up all over mama. Mama had, she contacted from her daughter. So I'm always uh, cautious and wear gloves because of vaccines. I'm cautious because I don't know if the baby is allergic to something that I have on. I just like to, and because I had a home daycare and it was required of us. I worked in a daycare, a preschool, and it was required of us. So it became habit. So yes, gloves. It's just what I do. Um, Hold on a second. Let me get the last two out of the way, and then I will go through and answer questions. For those of you who have questions, um, food allergies. I think we talked about that too. The tingling of the lips. Also, some foods can cause yeast infections. I know that sounds crazy, but they do. Some foods can cause, like mushrooms, anything with like a fungus. Uh, it can cause yeast infections, and not only little girls but little boys too. So if they're ingesting, things that could possibly be, and especially cheeses, sometimes you can't see the mold until it's too late. So be careful with cheeses with your little ones because they do mold easily. It depends on how you store it. They can mold easily. Um, the reactions from food is diarrhea, indigestion, gas, nausea, vomiting, hives, a rash, redness, the tingling of the lips. Um, I get laryngitis when I eat too many strawberries. Uh, I can eat cooked strawberries because I think it cooks the acid out. But raw strawberries, if I eat more than 3 or 4 strawberries at one time, I get laryngitis, and my I'm always and and then I start sounding like this, and it goes out. Certain peppers. I was having dinner at one of my friends' house, and she gave me the salad, and uh, she had brought it to me already prepared, the salad dressing already on there. I took one bite, and I don't know, it was my throat was on fire. I went from talking like this, and 2 seconds later, I'm like, oh my God. She said, well, just kind of spread it across so you won't have to eat that part. I'm looking at her like, are you trying to kill me? Are you serious? You just want me to just move the dressing out of the way or whatever it was on this salad. Well, I'll just make you another one. No, I don't want another salad. I do not want whatever it is in this salad that took me from having a full voice to no voice at all. Can you say allergic reaction? Hello. No, I'm not going to eat this. I didn't eat anything that was left. I was like, I'm done. Dinner's over for me. Y'all go ahead, right on ahead and enjoy. I'll sit right here and enjoy myself. I am not, I don't know what was in that dressing. It was a homemade dressing. And she said, oh, girl, it's the bomb. It's so good. And I'm like, oh, I'm so excited because I know she can cook. I've tasted her cooking before. But this particular time, mm-mm. Anything that's going to take my voice away like that, nope. And literally, I'm drinking. It took me 2 hours to get my voice back. I'm drinking water every chance. So I stopped talking. I stopped trying to talk because I was whatever it was that hit my throat in that food. That was it for me. So it, be aware even of yourself of what reactions that you're having. Be aware of your child having a reaction like that if something hits their throat. If they're starting, you're feeding them after 3 or 4 bites, they start gagging. If it hit their stomach and they're so allergic to it, it's like their stomach, the body rejects it and it's like, okay, you got to get out of here. Their body will reject it and throw it back at you. Please don't say, oh, well, they just kind of gagged and they spit up a little bit. And that baby is, and then food comes out. Don't feed them anymore. Don't get it anymore. That's their body rejecting it and pushing it back out of there. So please don't even try it because you could be causing more harm than good. Um, and it can also, food allergies can also present itself as like I said, the tingling of the lips, yeast infection, cramping. Your baby can't tell you that their stomach is cramping. If they don't have words yet, they can't tell you their stomach is cramping. All they do is cry, and maybe after drinking water, 24 hours later it may pass, but they can't tell you my stomach is cramping, mama. I don't know what you fed me, but in my stomach it made my stomach upset. I'm cramping. So drug allergies, I think we talked about that too. um, some drugs, uh, they cause itchiness, rash, hives, swelling, runny nose, hallucination, nausea, wheezing, shortness of breath, and even fever. So just be aware of what you're taking. I always look at if it's a drug that is going to make me sleepy. I try to avoid drugs that are making me sleepy because um, like Dimetap, Benadryl, um, Advil overnight, even melatonin. If I take too much melatonin, it knocks me out, and I am sleepy for like 2 or 3 days, and I can't focus. I can't concentrate. I can't take allergy medicine, not even the non-drowsy kind, because it just. I'm just like, hey, how y'all doing? And all day I'm like, okay, I'm here. I cannot function with allergy medicine. I can't function with anything that says may cause drowsiness, unless I know I'm going to be at home for the next 3 or 4 days to sleep it off and wear it off. Then it's not for me. And I tell my doctors that all the time. I've had two surgeries, two major surgeries where I had to be under anesthesia. And I told the doctor, I can't take anything that makes me sleepy. I said, it's going to take a while for me to come out of it. They thought I was playing. So they give me the full dose of anesthesia. And in my last surgery that I had almost 16 years ago, um, I almost died. I stopped breathing 8 times. They had to put me on a respirator, not because the surgery went bad. The surgery went fine. It was because of the anesthesia. I don't do well under anesthesia. So I find ways to keep myself healthy so I won't have to go under the knife, because it scares me that I stopped breathing 8 times and they had to put me on a respirator. I had surgery at 1. I didn't get out of the recovery room until midnight. That's almost 12 hours being under. And the surgery lasted 45 minutes. So within 45 minutes, I was out of the anesthesia, but the effects of the anesthesia lingered on for hours. And even when they put me in my room, they had what was that? That morphine drip. So I didn't get into my room until after midnight, and then the morphine drip had me feeling like ants were just crawling all over my arms and legs. So I had one allergic reaction after another. And then because I had medicine with nothing on my stomach, I can't take medicine with nothing on my stomach, I started getting nauseous. So I was not having a good day after that surgery. It just, after I got over all of that stuff, I was good. But between the anesthesia, the morphine, and nausea, it was like 24 hours of, yeah. So let me answer the questions. I'm going to start over here on Instagram, see if I have any questions over here. Hello, 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 hello. Uh, let's see. Yes, I've seen allergic reactions when the kid is is GF and the dog eats food that isn't. Oh, gluten free. Okay, the child is gluten free, but the dog isn't. The food. Okay. Um, let's see. Hello, Lucretia. Thank you for joining me. Okay, so let me go back over here on TikTok and see what we have here. Uh, how do you deal with gagging and different textures? Um, the different textures is sometimes a sensory issue. It takes practice, it takes patience, and sometimes they don't get over that sensory issue. I don't like gummies. I Jelly beans I can stand, but just the gummy bears and all the it's the texture on my tongue that just like I can't help it. It's like it's a sensory issue. And to me, in my mouth, it's a sensory overload. I've worked with autistic children who have sensory issues that only eat certain foods because of their sensory issues. And I've learned how to, for example, I had a 4 year old autistic little girl, and all she ate was hot dogs, French fries, and chicken nuggets. That was it. And occasionally a peanut butter sandwich. And her speech therapist was trying to get her to eat mandarin oranges because of the mandarin oranges, the texture of the mandarin orange. She didn't like it. And raisins, the texture of the raisins was, she didn't like it. So we went to uh, a sandwich, what's the name of that sandwich shop? Firehouse Subs or whatever. Anyway, they had like a cookie and they had raisins and apple slices and something else. So I grabbed a cookie and I grabbed some raisins. So she wanted some of my cookie. So I gave her a cookie, a small piece of the cookie. I ate a piece of the cookie. Then I opened the raisins and I ate some raisins and I gave her a raisin. She looked at me. So I ate some more cookie and she asked for the cookie and I said, and I gave her a piece of the cookie. And then I ate some raisin. I gave her a piece of raisin and she stuck it in her mouth and I thought she was going to spit it out. She started chewing and I was like, okay. So we kept going back and forth on the cookie and the raisin. And as we went back and forth on the cookie and the raisin, eventually she grabbed the raisins out of my hand and started eating out of the box. I immediately grabbed my phone and started recording her eating the raisins and sent it to her parents. She's like, how did you do that? Oh my God, I am in tears over here. Oh, I said, it was just, uh, uh, I, honestly, I honestly think it was like a luck of the draw. Uh, and modeling me eating what uh, she was eating. So we were sharing food, and it was no pressure. It wasn't like, well, I need you to eat a raisin before I give you some more cookie. And sometimes when we pressure kids to do things that they don't want to do, it makes them more resistant to doing it. So I just sat there. We just sat there quietly doing people watching, sitting outside, people watching. And I ate some cookies. She ate some cookie. I ate a raisin, and she looked at me, and it 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 was just modeling that behavior. I didn't pressure her saying that you got to eat the raisin. I knew my objective was to get her to eat some of the raisins, but I didn't force her to eat the raisins. It was all about it was all about being there and just sharing. So I think even at dinner time, a lot of parents want their children to eat their vegetables, want their children to eat their food. Start with a small plate and don't put too much on there. Put a couple of things that they like and a couple of things that you would like for them to try. And just sit and have a conversation. If they eat it, they eat it. If they don't, they don't. It's on it's all in the presentation. It's all in the atmosphere of the table at the table. If it's pressure to eat, you need to eat your vegetables. Are you going to eat that? Or uh, these are so good. Don't you want to eat yours? Kids know when you're trying to get them to do something, and they will retaliate and like, not gonna do it. Not me. But if you just sit down and just, have that conversation and do, normal, they are more likely to eat it. Let them help you make dinner. Let them help you make the food that you're trying to get them to eat. Kids will more likely eat what they make because they create it and they want to, even if they just taste it and say, oh, I don't like that. Well, at least say no, cook this particular way. I don't like this. Well, next time we'll try to cook it a different way. and we'll see if we like it another way. And when you say things like that, you know, it doesn't reject the food. It doesn't say that the food was bad. It just says that, well, maybe you just didn't like it cooked that way, and we'll cook it differently. Find another recipe that they can help again, and make it a project of of the way it is cooked. And some textures of foods, when you cook it, it changes textures. When you bake it or when you alter it some kind of way or dip it in a sauce, it takes that text part of that texture away, and it gives a new light to this food, and they may eat it that way. And if it brings new light to that food and they're enjoying it, then hey, get all the ketchup or the mustard or what teriyaki sauce or whatever sauce they dipping it in. If it's letting them eat it, and you're happy, they're happy, everybody's happy. Um, let's see. I'm allergic to shellfish. That was my question. Okay, my daughter used to be allergic to cinnamon. Okay, we answered that one. Thank you for answering that. You're welcome, Dan. It's in some IV dyes. I'm not sure what that meant. Uh, let's see. Yes, you have to introduce new food slowly. That way you can catch what it is. Yes, exactly. Introduce them slowly. Don't take the foods too fast. I'm sorry if I'm late, but you already discussed this. What do you do if your child starts to react? If your child starts to react, stop immediately. Stop feeding them immediately and seek medical attention. um, if you call the doctor, if you have nurses line, I mean, if they're not wheezing or having if it's something like, okay, they're sneezing and they're having an allergic reaction, that's one thing. Sneezing is not a life threatening. But if it's like a red rash coming out on their faces, and then the red rash turns into splotches, and the splotches turns into swelling, and it just keeps progressing and progressing, get the child to the doctor, to the hospital, call 911, do what you got to do. Continue to watch that child while you're waiting to get to 911 to get to you, or you are taking that child to the doctor yourself. Continue to monitor that child to make sure that nothing else is progressing, and making sure that they are uh, there's no swelling, there's no wheezing, there's no shortness of breath, they're not passing out and all that stuff. uh, Monitor the child closely, but get medical attention. I'm allergic to mushrooms as well. Hi, Casey. If you don't mind me asking, what does mushrooms do to you? I know what it does to me, but what does mushrooms do to you? Um, what reaction, should I say, what reaction do you have to mushrooms? Hey, Nanny, my baby got his shots today. He's very sleepy. Is that normal? It depends on what shot they got. And it depends on, babies get tired. Like, you know, I got the COVID shot, and man, I felt like my arm was gonna fall off. It was sore, and then my body was tired, and then um, I felt a tingle in the back of my throat, and then my muscles started aching. So it just depends on the condition of your body as to how I should say, the preconditions of your body as to how your body reacts to foreign medicines and things being put in it. um, I was afraid that my allergies were going to react. I had to wait until my numbers were right because I have autoimmune disease. Um, I had to get my numbers checked, and once they got right, that's when I went and got my shot done. Because my doctor said, okay, if you're going to get it done, now's a good time because your numbers are okay. Before it was too high, and the reaction that I probably would have had to the shot would not have been as uh as good as it was. And I don't know if that was good, because my body was aching, my arm was aching. I wanted to snatch it off and throw it across the room and say, bring it back to me when it's done. So it depends on your child's body and what pre-existing conditions your child has. But if you are concerned, call your pediatrician and talk to your pediatrician. They should have given you uh, a brochure or a leaflet about the particular vaccine that they gave your child, and look online and look and see what the reactions to it, normal reactions to it, uh, what the severe reactions are to it. I always encourage parents to research the the vaccines that you're giving your child, to see what to expect, see what reactions are possible for your baby to have, because if you're not used to it, you may overreact, like a lot of parents do. And it's really, oh well, that's just normal, that's a normal reaction. Did you read the flyer that we gave you? Did you read the brochure that we gave you? That's normal reaction. It's like a normal range and then a severe range. You don't want your child in the severe range, so read the literature that they gave you. If you still have concerns, call your doctor. Don't be ashamed to call your doctor. I can tell you how many, too many times I call the doctor. Wait a minute, my baby's doing this and my baby's doing that. Oh, that's normal. Okay. Wait a minute, hold on. And now he's doing this and now he's doing it. Okay, just bring him in. And I get there and he's fine. Of course, they acting like they dying when they at home. I get them to the doctor. Hey, doctor. They all smiling and cheering, and I'm like, now 5 minutes ago you act like you was on your last breath. You get to the doctor's office and you all cheering like I'm lying. So, yeah, check with your doctor. Hey, nanny, my baby. Okay. Uh, let's see. Thank you, Crystal, for following me. Always be prepared. Yes, always be prepared. White gloves for changing the baby. I think I answered that one. Does that apply when it's your own child, or is it a child care situation? With my own children, no, I didn't use gloves. Um, I did not use gloves, but with my daycare kids, I had a home daycare, and I worked at a preschool, and I worked in daycare and early Head Start. So yes, it was requirements for me to use gloves, and so I just started using gloves. But with my own kids, by the time I started my home daycare, my youngest was almost 2. So we were about out of Pampers anyway. So what about constipation? Yes, constipation can be a um, constipation can be a part of an allergic reaction. I know when babies switch over from the formula to regular cow's milk builds up. I'm allergic to cow's milk. Cow's milk can build up mucus. It always clogs my sinuses. I love ice cream, but I don't eat it very often. I can get like a little small thing of ice cream and it'll last me all summer, because it just fills my head up with mucus and my nose starts running, and I sound like this all done because I can't breathe. Yeah. So I just rather breathe and be done with it. But I love me some ice cream, but cheese doesn't affect me that way. But yeah, so constipation is a part of it, because milk can cause constipation in babies when they're switching over from formula or from breast milk to regular cow's milk. It can cause constipation, and it will cause like little pebble type bowel movements, and but poop will be in like little pebble like forms instead of being soft and loose like it normally is with the breast milk and the formula, it pebbles up. So make sure that your child drinks plenty of water, and because that helps counteract the milk. But make sure that they have plenty of water because breast milk has a lot of water in it and formula has a lot of water in it. So make sure they get that extra water. Okay. Um, how can I help her? Okay, yeah, give her water. Also, with the constipation, it just depends on what she's eating. If you know it causes constipation, bananas. Let me tell you this: bananas. Don't give too many bananas at one time. Maybe once a day, and don't give a whole lot of bananas because bananas solidify the poop. When you're taking antibiotics, if a baby is taking antibiotics, it can give you diarrhea simply because the antibiotics takes out the good bacteria and the bad bacteria out of your body. So I always give my babies either give them yogurt with live and active cultures or give them a probiotic to help put the good bacteria back in the body. And I give them bananas because bananas helps to solidify the poop and makes it more, instead of it running, it makes it more solid. So if you're giving them bananas, oh, she loves bananas, she loves bananas, she loves bananas, and she's getting constipated, back up off the bananas. Mix the bananas with some apple. Mix the bananas with some pear because apples and pear have a lot of fiber in them and they, kind of make you go. So give apples, pears, depends on how old your child is. I would say a lot of a lot of the fruits that are high in fiber, like the apples and pears, they help to uh, loosen. Um, I shouldn't say loosen. They don't make you have the pebble constipation. It helps you to go. It helps your child to go. So apples and pears are good fibers to give for constipation. How do I handle signs of little tantrum starting at 8 months old? First time mom, don't want him. Did I miss the rest of your? Okay, so signs of little tantrums start at 8 months old. Yes, I deal with that all the time. So if your child is starting to or fall out, and okay, it's okay for you to be angry, but this is what we're going to do. That's why I always do what I like to call forecasting. I talk to my kids. I let them know, okay, so we're going to change your pamper, and they may be having a fit about changing their pamper. Okay, all right. And I just tell them, okay, we're going to take the flaps off. I said, let me get your diaper rash ointment. Let me put the ointment on you. Okay, we're going to close up the diaper. And I just kind of talk them through it. And they can get mad, they can get angry, but we're still going to do this. And because they get mad and angry, but because I'm talking them through it, and I always talk them through it, I'm always talking, they understand she's not going to stop what she's doing. She's going to continue to change my pamper, and she's going to tell me what I'm doing, what she's doing, and we're moving right along. And because I do that, and then I give them something to distract them, especially at that age, I'll sing a song or put on a favorite music so that they will uh, come up out of that funk that they're in, and we can go ahead and have a good day. But I always talk them through it so they know what I'm doing and they know why I'm doing it. Okay, now when you cooperate, we can get done quicker. And then we can get the faster we get this done, we can get over there and we can have your milk and you can get a nap. And then you have to also realize what time of day it is. Are they hungry? Are they sleepy? Um, did they drop their favorite toy? Did they try to pull up and they fail? Because and if they're sleepy, all these things take factors. Are they not feeling well? Are they teething? All of these things you take into account when You talk about temper tantrums because sometimes it's just a natural progression to something else. If I'm teething, I'm not going to feel well. So I'm going to be whiny all day and everything's going to upset me. If I'm sleepy, no, you're not going to get me to do whatever it is you want me to do because I am shutting down. My brain is like, okay, it's time to go to sleep. And you want me to wake up and do something. And I can't focus and I can't concentrate because I am sleepy. And I'm not going to come on, I'm not going to be, do what you want me to do because I'm sleepy. And that's what's going on in their brain. Why don't you just leave me alone? I'm sleepy. Don't you know I'm sleepy? That's what's going on. And that's why they're breaking down. And that's why they're having this tantrum. So you have to look at the time of day. What's going on? Are they sleepy? Are they hungry? Um, did they fall and stump their toe, or their favorite toy got taken away, or whatever we transition too fast from one activity to the next. uh, Whatever is going on, make sure that you're aware of the transition is going on. And sometimes it will just be, I'm mad, I'm angry, but sometimes, most of the time I go through my checklist. Okay, what time of day is it? Is it 30 minutes, 30 minutes, less than 30 minutes till nap time? Because that's when kids' brains start, especially if they're on a schedule, their brains start, okay, I'm about to lose it. It's almost nap time. So, don't expect me to do anything that you want me to do. So anything that you wanted me to do, you better get it in before 30 minutes to nap time, because after that, I can't guarantee you nothing. So be prepared. Thoughts on baby led weaning versus starting on purees. You may have said, and I missed it. I like baby led weaning, but I'm not a glutton for the gagging. I like to start with purees, and then the puree gets to be like clumpy, and then the clumpy leads to finger foods, and the finger food leads to the baby led weaning. I should say my version of the baby led weaning. The After they do the finger foods and little meltaways in their mouth, and they learn how to pick up foods and put them in their mouth, and learn how to handle the foods being in their mouth and get the chewing motion. Yeah, that's how I do it. I have had babies who were strictly baby led weaning, and when I tell you, it got on my last nerve watching that baby eat that food. And I know it's normal. I know it's a gagging is a part of a defense mechanism in their body. But that don't mean I liked it, because I just that's one of my sensory overloads. I have anxiety, and I know that plays on my anxiety, so I don't go that route. I can stand it through the progression because I know the child is ready for it, because they've done this and then they've done that and then they've done this and then we have worked up to it, instead of just, okay, here you go, your first bite of food, here you go, go. That's not me. I'm not saying there's something wrong with baby led weaning, because it works. My preference, and that's just me, my preference is, oh no. Hello, Danny. How are you? Thanks for joining me. Hi, Danny Jamie. Uh, Hello, boss man. Whoa, camera fail. Sorry. Hello, Lori Mae. Thanks for joining me. Um, oh, the VIP. Hi, I haven't seen you in a while. How are you? Okay, so uh yes, it's scary. It's very scary. Hello, Thulin. Thulin. Hi, Sudden. Kids, gotta love them. Yes, gotta love them. Okay, thank you. You're welcome, L Jack. Hi, Kat. It's scary. Thank you. Yes, it is. Nicole Elena, does the witching hour last until a certain age? Notice my 9-month-old gets fussy in the evening. By the evening, uh, I mean, it's just like us. We've been through a whole day of tummy time, of uh, playing, of eating, napping, getting up, routine, going outside, doing this. By the evening, you're tired. And sometimes I know it happens to me. Sometimes I'm tired in the evening. I come in and I sit down on the couch. And when I sit down on the couch, all of a sudden I feel myself going like this. And when I wake up, I'm like, how long have I been asleep? I realize I'm asleep, but I'm tired. And I feel it at that point, I feel it in my body and I'm irritable. And if I'm irritable as an adult, babies can't say, Mama, I'm irritable. Don't mess with me. Just leave me alone. Let me be. Don't mess with me. I'm irritable. Babies can't tell you that. But it's what's going on inside of them. It's what's actually happening. In the evening, they are tired. They've had a long day. Yes, it's hard being a 9-month-old. You don't know that? Shoot, I had to do tummy time 3 times a day. I had to go and drink down bottles. I had to eat. Oh, that food didn't quite digest right. Oh, got a little gas. Oh, that bothered me during my nap time. Oh, and then I ended up pooping in the middle of nap. Oh, that just messed with my whole sleep schedule. It's hard being 9 months old. And I say this because I have worked with babies for so long. It's like I can read your mind. I can see it on your face. I know what you're thinking. So yeah, it's hard being a 9-month-old. And that witching hour, um, it may be, time to change their schedule. At 9 months old, how many naps are they taking during a day? How many and how much time in between naps? What is their feeding schedule like? Um, and is there anything, are they going to daycare? Are they staying at home with the nanny? Is grandma taking care of them? Because there's a lot of factors in there that your child, by the end of the day, is tired and irritable. Teething. Teething takes up a lot of time, a lot of their day. Drooling, growing. Growing is hard. Babies are still growing strong. And if they don't get enough sleep, they're irritable, teeth hurt. It's just a lot of factors going on. So yeah, by the end of the day, it's probably, and then think about it. You have a toothache, during the day, or your toes hurting, or you got this little slight headache that's been bugging you all day. And as soon as you lay down, it gets quiet and still in the evening time. It just seems to go like this with every heartbeat. It just throbs because your body's relaxed enough to focus on that one thing. And your whole body, I don't care if it's your pinky toe, your whole body focuses on that pinky toe. Okay, now we don't have all this busyness around us. It's time to quiet down and get, you know, into our sleep mode. And everything just focuses on that one area. And I'm mad because my toe is hurting. Oh my gosh. Oh my toe. Please stop hurting. And next thing you know, you look, okay, where's the Tylenol? Where's the Motrin? I need something to take the pain away. Your baby's the same way. Their bodies work the same way ours do. It may just be in a miniature form, but they work the same way ours do. Thank you so much. Uh, Going to apply this advice starting tomorrow. You're welcome. He throws himself backwards. Yeah, I don't want him to be spoiled. There's a difference between being spoiled and well loved. Um, I saw a video today, and it was like young lady was saying, "Let me show you how spoiled my baby is." And so she put him down and the baby started whining. Hold on. My phone is, let me plug my phone in right quick because the battery is low. Come on. Hang on. There we go. Got it. Okay. Yeah. There we go. Hi, Stephanie. Thanks for joining me. How are you? Okay. Now, um, what was I saying? Yeah, the young lady was saying, let me show you how spoiled my baby is. She put the baby in the bassinet and the baby started whining. Now, most people would have seen that as, oh, he's crying. And I'm sitting here and I'm looking at the video and I watched like 3 or 4 times. Not a tear. He was basically going, not really crying. It wasn't a full blown out, no, it was a, I work with babies all the time. And I'm like, that baby's not spoiled. He just wants to be held. And when they get to that point and they're whining, I just let them whine. Okay, let's come up here and we'll sit on the floor. I'll sit on the floor. I'll get on the floor with them and we'll play. Um, at 9 months old, I shouldn't say 9 months old, between 7 and 9 months old, children go through separation anxiety. And that's normal for them to want you not to be out of their sight. Even though I've taught all my kids, I teach them how to play independently. But let mama come into the room, oh, it's over. Everything stops. It's over. I want my mama and I want her now. I don't care that you're taking good care of me. I don't care that you are. Let me see, my phone is glitching. I don't care that you take good care of me. I don't care that we were playing and having fun. I don't care about all that. I just want my mama. And I'm going to scream and yell and cry or whine until she comes back. That's when you get the skills as a nanny. You get the skills of distraction. You get the skills of redirection. You get the skills of, let's put this favorite song on. Sometimes I don't play music. I like to play music when we're playing because music is a good transition. But now that the baby I have is going through the transition of, I want my mama. I want to be right up under her. I don't want her to go anywhere. I want her to be right here. I save my music for when I know that I'm going to need it. Mama's coming. Mama's got to go to work. She just came in and she heard her. I know she's here. I heard her voice. And so she's crawling, trying to find mama. The good thing is her playroom has a gate, so she can't get in or out unless I let her in or out. And mama tries to go around away from the play area so that she won't see her, but she can hear her voice. That's normal. That's not a spoiled baby. That's normal reactions. Babies are going to want their parents. They're going to want their mamas and daddies. That's normal. But on the same token, when I got ready to leave today, and she knows what time I leave every day, mama can come into the room where we are and sit down. She knows if mama comes in the room and sits down, that it's time for me to go. She comes in the room, mom comes in the room, sits down, baby does not react. She turns around, looks at mama, smiles, and keeps doing what she's doing, playing independently. Now, if mama comes by, walks by, and keeps rolling, oh, she's going to have a fit because she knows mama's not going to stop and play with me. But mama comes in and sits down in the room, it's like trigger to the brain. Oh, she's getting ready to leave. Mama's here to play with me. There's no reason for me to have a fit because I got what I want. She's in the room. And then she will crawl over to me and get in my lap and hold my face and kiss me. Get that out of my lap and crawl away. That's her routine. It's like, okay, I had fun today. Bye bye. Here's your kiss. Go. And so mama grabs her up, scoops her up. We walk to the front door. I say bye bye. She waves bye bye. And then she closes the door. That's the routine. That's because we have practiced it. I've been consistent about it. We have both been consistent. We work as a team. We have both been consistent about the routine that we have for her. We've both been patient with her going through this transition of um, separation anxiety. And we both know how she reacts. That she's mama is assured that she's okay. That separation anxiety is a deal, is a big deal, and we handle it and we work through it together as a team, and we move on. We don't let her become what most people say spoiled. We understand that you want your mama. And we have certain times in the day that mama comes in specifically to see her, to talk to her, and have when she has breaks, she comes in, she talks to her, and then she hands her back over to me. We already know it's gonna be a crying fit. So that's when I turn on the music, the Five Little Monkeys. And she starts bobbing her head and she starts dancing. I put her on the floor. She crawls around, bobbing and bumping, and it's over. So there's going to be crying. There's going to be moments where you feel like your child is spoiled. But if you practice consistency and patience, it will smooth out that transition and your child will adjust to what is going on more smoothly than if you're like, okay, well, let me pick you back up. Okay, let me put you back down. Okay, let me put you back up. Let me put you back down. Establish the fact that this is a developmental process. And it's how you handle it as to how they handle it. They pick up on your emotions. And if you're emotional about them being emotional, then they're going to continue to be. It's like a never ending roller coaster. You never get off. But if you have that roller coaster and you're like, okay, your ride is over, time to stop. Next, that's how you have to treat it. The ride at the roller coaster, the roller coaster at the fair, it's going to eventually stop. It's going to be some twists and turns and bumps in there, but it eventually stops. You get off, get back of the line, and you ride again. That's how it works. That's life is tough enough with the impression. The it was so accurate. Yes, yes, yes. Hello, I love your videos. Thank you, twin mamas. Thank you, thank you. My son could be having fun with dad. He sees me pass by, crawls so fast towards me, saying, "I'm a." Oh, that is so cute. Uh, let's see. All right. Do I have any more? Hello, Ashley. Ashley's life. Okay. Thank you for joining me. Having a hard time hearing you. Oh, you having a hard time hearing me? I'm sorry. My battery went low and I plugged the phone in and now it's glitching. I'm sorry. I do apologize. Okay. So, are there any more questions before we go? Hi, Ari. How are you? Thank you for the likes. I appreciate it. I thank you, thank you, thank you. All right. It is 9:20. We have been on here uh, an hour and 20 minutes. So, any last minute questions before we go? And this my uh Instagram is glitching. Any last questions? I need some twin tips. Uh Okay, so what do you need? What do you need? Same schedule. You don't need two of everything. Always have a song in your pocket or a song, their favorite song on your phone. I have an old iPhone that's connected to Wi-Fi, so I always carry it with me uh, in my pocket, and I have it set on my Amazon Music, so I can just flip it on, ding, and music will change the whole atmosphere. Um, Try to stay um, ahead and stocked up as far as food is concerned. I always prepare enough to have if enough to have little plates in the refrigerator, or have if I'm cutting up vegetables and okay, and I have containers of cut up fruits and cut up vegetables and cut up meats and things. So when I'm fixing a plate and I need to hurry, I just have, okay, this, and this. And if I have to warm it up in the microwave, be sure you start out slow, warm it up in the microwave, because your hot and a child's hot is two different hots. Okay. And I have some twins that like hot food. So always be prepared. Uh, I've even catered food for a set of twins. Well, lots of babies, I've catered food. And so that it makes it easier. The food is already cooked and prepared. All you got to do is put it on a plate, warm it up, and give it to your kids. It's so much easier when you are prepared and ahead of the game. Bottles, I make them up in batches. Um, I have, let me grab it. I have this picture here. Can you see that? Let me move it this way so I can see it over here on Instagram. Um, this little picture is a Dr. Brown's picture. Let me see. Where's the little thing? There it is. If you see this, it has like little twisted right here. So when I bring it up and down, it mixes the milk without a lot of bubbles in it. I make it in batches. Once I make the milk, I already have bottles prepared. I make the milk in the pitcher. I pour the amount that I need into the bottles. If my twins are drinking two different milks, and sometimes they are, um, or if they're girls and boys, because some parents prefer little pink bottles for the girls and blue bottles for the boys, especially if they have twins. Um, or if one is eating more than the other, they will mark the bottles or put a special cap or whatever the case may be. I prepare the bottles, have them ready in the refrigerator, have two bottle warmers. If if I don't have bottle warmers, I have a mini crock pot. I plug it in at the beginning of the day, and I keep it plugged in so the water is always warm instead of a bottle warmer. Having two bottle warmers, I get one crock pot, have the water already warm, put the bottles in there. And by the time I get done changing Pampers, the bottles are warm. Here you go. Um, Bouncy seats can be your best friends, especially if they're littles. Uh, a swing can be your best friend, especially when they're little. Learn to sleep when they go to sleep. Uh, get laundry done during nap time. Uh, just have to be organized. So if you need any more tips, let me know. They tag team. Oh yes, they're famous for that. They have their own little language where they can look at each other and give a smile, ting, and that means you go that way while I go this way, and let's see which one she's gonna come out the first. And they think it's funny. And what I do is I always go after the fastest twin first, because the slow one is still going to be kind of toddling along. They're not going to get very far. But that fast one be up and around the corner before you know it. So go grab the fast one first and then come back get the slow one, because the slow one is still toddling along. Now, once they get both of them going at it, you don't have to make a choice. And yeah, it becomes they do tag team. Hello, Yasmin. How are you? Thanks for joining me. Okay, so I if I don't have thank you, Linda. Thank you, twin mamas. Thank you for the likes. Thank you so much. And thank you all for joining me. Um, please come back again next uh, Tuesday. And on Sunday, I will be doing my cooking. I cook on Sundays all across social media on Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, and TikTok. So join me Sunday afternoons at 3 o'clock. That's when I do all of my batch cooking, and I make 2 or 3 meals for the week. And uh, I buy containers that have the little sections in them, and I put them in the little sections, and I throw them off in the freezer because during the week I'm usually here, and I don't have time to cook unless I'm making a salad or something to go with what I have in the freezer or adding something quick to it. Um, but the major cooking that I have to bake or chop up and all that other stuff, Sundays is when I do all of that and put it all together, put it in the freezer. And see, my husband works remotely from home. And so I don't have to find him lunch because go grab one of those meals. It's like 5 or 6 different meals in my freezer. So you can choose whichever one you want to eat. You can't hear, there's no sound. Oh my gosh. What's going on? Wait a minute, hold on. Let me push that up. Let me raise the volume up. Okay, can you hear me now? I'm sorry. What is my and now it's doing crazy stuff. I don't know I think because I plugged it in, this phone that I'm using on Instagram is older. And because I have it on the charger, I'm so sorry. Um, I hope you can hear me. Coco Kisses, thank you for joining me. And thank you for letting me know there's no sound. I apologize. I really do. I apologize. Um, okay. I can hear you. Okay. Thank you, Linda. I was talking to the people on Instagram because I have like 4 different social medias going all at the same time. I am on TikTok, Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram. And my device that's over here on Instagram, um, the battery was started running low, so I plugged it in, and that's when the trouble started. Okay, you can hear me. Yay! Okay, now that I'm getting ready to go. Sorry. So I will see you all on Sunday. And if not Sunday, definitely come back next Tuesday. I usually put out a video on Tuesday morning to let you know what topic is for Tuesday night. So, oh, and before I go, first thing, um, I am doing the Christmas breakfast. If you all don't know, I'm doing the Christmas breakfast box. I own a jam company called This Jam Good. And last Christmas was our first time doing the Christmas breakfast box. And this year we're at it again. And I want to sell twice the amount that I did last year because last year I came up with it on Thanksgiving Day. I don't know how it just hit my brain, and somehow I sold within 10 days. I had 10 box. I mean, not, within 10 days, I had 25 boxes sold and shipped. So this year I'm starting early. I want to double that number this year. And the box has pretty much doubled since last year. So there's going to be more in the box. The Christmas breakfast box, I'll tell you about last year's box. We had jam and candy and hot chocolate, apple cider, coffee, creamer. Uh, there was English muffins, It was a variety of English muffins. It depends on who got what. I ordered from a bakery. We had English muffins, two kinds of jams. There was candy. There was mints, uh, tea. Um, did I say tea? Hot chocolate, coffee, apple cider, extra marshmallows. Um, and there's an ornament in there. There's a coffee mug with This Jam Good logo on it. Um, there were waffles in there. The little, what are they called? Uh, I can't remember the name of them, but they're little waffles. I got so many compliments about the little waffles. But yeah, this year the box is going to look a little different. The inside of the box is going to be a little different, but it's still going to be a Christmas breakfast box because who wants to put together all of those toys in the middle of the night? Because I remember I used to do it with my boys, and then have to cook Christmas breakfast because the kids gonna want to eat eventually when they get through playing with the toys. So why not have breakfast already ready in a box? It comes to you, unwrap it, breakfast is served, heat them up, eat them up. Hello, Savvy J. And the second thing I wanted to tell you about is my shirt. It's all about breast cancer awareness. It is October. October is Breast Cancer Awareness Month. Please get yourself checked. Please check yourself and get yourself checked. Okay? Get your mammograms done. Even if you haven't gotten it done, schedule one, and so that you can stay safe. My mom had breast cancer. My grandmother had breast cancer. Several of my aunts had breast cancer. And then once they got the breast cancer taken care of, it came back. One of my aunts, it came back in her brain. My mom, it came back in her lungs. So get yourself checked out, please. Please, 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 for the sake of yourself, your children, and your families, check, check, check at least once a year. Um, my mom, because of the history of breast cancer in my family, I get checked. I check myself monthly and I go and get my mammogram done yearly. Okay? So please get checked. Please and thank you. And you all have a great night and a great rest of the week. And I will see you all on Sunday, if not before. I may pop on and do a surprise on one of these outlets or one of these social medias. Uh, if something happens or I go somewhere or do something. So, but I will see you all next time, and you all have a great week. Thank you for joining me. And if you're still with me, can you double tap the screen? Send me some likes. I'd appreciate it. And I will see you all next time. You all have a great week.